So friends, let's see today's Padwal and Chana Bhaji. Now here I've taken the Padwal, washed it well, and now I'm going to take a peeler and very lightly peel just the thin peel that is there. With a potato peeler, you can also use a knife and just remove the thin peel of the Padwal. Then you're going to cut it into half and again into half, and then there's this white pulp that is inside. Take it out with a spoon. Discard that, we're not going to use it. It comes off very easily. You can just place it on a flat surface and just take a spoon and remove it. Discard that part, and if any strings are there, remove that also. Now you're just going to cut it up into small pieces like this. So they look like semicircles. So just chop all of them. Now this vegetable also cooks really very quickly. There's no ginger, garlic, onion required for this recipe. Now I also soaked 1/4 cup of chana dal for about 1 hour in water, and then I drained out all the water after that. Now we're going to heat 2 teaspoons of oil in a pan. Once the oil is hot, we're going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds. Once the mustard seeds begin to splutter, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera, half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga, and half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi. Now we're going to add the soaked chana dal and fry the dal for at least half a minute in the oil. Then we're going to add this chopped up padwal and fry that also in the oil for about half a minute. Now I'm going to add just about 1/4 cup or half a cup of water just to help to cook the dal and the padwal. Since we're not adding any onion, there is no water going to be released, so we have to add water. And after cover and cook it for 2 minutes on a low flame, stirring in intervals, and keep cooking it for another 2 or 3 minutes till the padwal is nice and cooked and the dal is also nice and cooked. Now you can check if the padwal is cooked by just piercing it with or cutting it with a knife or a spoon, and even mash the dal. The dal also should be edible and cooked. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. Mix it in well. Now I'm going to add some salt to taste. And I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of jaggery or gourd and about 1 tablespoon of freshly grated coconut. Mix everything well. Now in place of the jaggery, you can also use sugar, about 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, and cover and cook this again for 1 whole minute. Now you can turn off the heat and add another tablespoon of freshly grated coconut. Mix everything well, and this delicious padwal with chana dal recipe is ready. It gets ready really quickly. And you can have this with some hot rotis, puris, or some dal and rice. It's really delicious and really nice to the palate. I hope you try out this recipe. Akshata here from Akshata's Recipes. Welcome to my channel. Radish vegetable, which is mulyachi bhaji, and it's really delicious. And I'm going to make it Goan style, just like my grandmother used to make it, with very little oil. Now I'm using coconut oil, which is traditionally used, but you can also use your regular oil that you use. And I'm going to show you how to prep the vegetable, how to wash it and clean it and chop it up, and everything, so you can even beginners will be able to make this recipe. And this can be had with some rice and dal or some rice and chapati. It's really nice and it will really cool you down during the summer. So let's just jump straight ahead into today's recipe. So first let's see how to prep the moola or the radish. So I washed this really well under water, and then I'm going to separate the leaves. Now you can see how dark green the leaves are. So now I'm going to break the leaves from the stem, and I'm going to put them in some water, to which I've added a little bit of salt, about a teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to keep it aside for 10 minutes. Now for the moola, I've washed it really well. I'm going to peel it with a potato peeler. You can also use a knife. Now see that it's nice and white and fresh and firm. It shouldn't be discolored, it shouldn't be soft, it shouldn't have any kind of brownish holes or indentations on it. Now cut off the ends with a knife. We're going to discard the ends. And now you're just going to cut it into thin rounds like this, to about 1/2 inch thickness. We don't want it very thick. It should be thin, like this. And then I'm going to cut each round into half. You can also cut the moola first into half and then cut it into rounds, whatever suits you, whatever's easy for you. So now our prepping is done of the radish or the moola. Now we have to just prep the leaves, and then we can start with our vegetable, which is very, very easy. And this is such a simple and delicious dish. It goes so well with some dal and rice. So now, after rinsing the leaves really well, I'm just going to chop them up as fine as possible, like you would with spinach. So now once our prep work is done, we can start with our recipe. So cut them as fine as possible. Now comment in the comment section below how many of you like to eat moola bhaji or radish. So now I'm also going to take 1 medium-sized onion and 2 green chilies. So I've washed the green chilies well, I've washed the onions well. I'm just going to cut off the edges of the green chilies, and I'm just going to cut a slit like this, and then I'm going to cut it into halves. So slit it like this and then cut it into halves. Now I'm going to cut my onion. So wash the onion really well, peel the onion, cut off the edges, and after peeling it, again I give it a rinse under tap water or running water. And I like to cut off this center yellow also. I don't use that part, I discard that too. And now we're just going to cut the onion into half like this and into small pieces like this. So now everything is ready. We can start making the recipe. So I've heated a pan and I'm adding just 1 teaspoon of coconut oil. Like I said, you can use coconut oil, you can use regular cooking oil. Now you add the onion and just fry the onion, and add the chilies also, and just fry them well in this oil. Now when you add coconut oil for any recipe, the aroma is so beautiful and so divine. It just elevates the taste of the dish. I remember my nana or grandma, she used to cook mostly in coconut oil. Now you're just going to add the entire radish along with the leaves and everything into the pan. So this is a very simple dish. There's no, anything extra. It's just a very simple dish. There's no masalas or anything that go into it. Not much, no spices at all. It's very light and very refreshing. So saute everything for at least a minute so everything gets really mixed well together. And it gets ready also really quickly. Now I'm just going to add 1/4 cup of water just to fasten the cooking process. Mix everything and just cover and cook this for about 3 minutes on a very low flame. Now after 3 minutes, if you check, you can see that the radish is already cooked. It cooks so fast. So if you just take your spoon and cut up any of the pieces, they'll cut very easily. Let me show you one. So it easily cuts like that. So that means it's already cooked. Now we can just flavor it with some salt. So I'm just going to add a little bit of salt to taste. A little pinch of sugar, that's optional, but I always like to add a little sugar. Just a pinch of sugar. Mix everything in well. And now I'm just going to put 1/4 cup of freshly grated coconut, and our lovely Bhaji, Goan style radish or moolo is all ready to enjoy. Turn off the heat and have this with some chapatis, puris, rice and dal. So wasn't that a real easy recipe? Such few ingredients, just some onions and chilies, salt, a little bit of sugar, and you're all set. So now some little tips on how to buy this radish. So first of all, you should see that the radish part, which is like the legume part, is really nice and firm. It isn't soft, it isn't discolored, it should be nice and white. Then the leaves also should be really nice and dark green and fresh. So these are the tips you need to keep in mind, and also wash the leaves really well like I have done. Soak it in some water for about 10-15 minutes, then rinse it well and then use it for the recipe. So that's all you need to keep in mind, guys. So make this, if you like today's recipe, you know what to do. You need to give this a big thumbs up. That will help me with my videos, and the more likes you give me, the more YouTube will put up more of my videos for you all, so your recommendations. Also hit the subscribe button, become a part of Akshata's recipes, and once you have subscribed, click the little bell, that way whenever I put up a new video, you'll get a message for the same. Also click on the all in the notification so you won't miss out anything on my channel. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching my recipes. Go and check out all the list of other recipes I put down in the description box and the comment section. See you soon with another recipe. This is Akshata signing off. Bye.